with a word of prayer. Father, we just want to thank you for allowing us to come together this evening, Lord. Father, we thank you for the gift of the body of Christ, that you would bring us together as a family, Lord, and that you would allow us to just to enter into your presence, Father God, and to make this gymnasium a house of God. Lord, it says, "Well, two or more are gathered, Father God, you're there in the midst." Lord, we believe that. We trust in that. We trust in your word, Father. Lord, I pray that you would open the hearts and the minds of the men and women here, and that they would receive your word, and they would understand the word that you gave to me to give to them. So, Father, I just thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. You know, it's amazing, if I may, real quick testimony, how his life and my life are really similar, really parallel. Because right now I'm in a program called the 184 Reentry Program. I'm still an inmate. I am not on parole, I'm not on probation. I've been released by the director of prisons into this program. So technically I'm still in custody. If this program was to stop, I would have to go back to prison. So it's just amazing how the life of drugs and crime and how it's led two men to the Word of God. It's truly, truly amazing. And so, having said that, last night I was blessed with an opportunity to talk about the need for more programs to Senator Dean Heller's office, Catherine Cortez Mastro's office, a bunch of district court judges, parole and probation, law enforcement, and I was blessed with the respect that I could get up and talk about the need for more of these programs. God has been moving amazingly in my life. He has set it up for me to be able to minister to level 4 and level 2 maximum security yards in California with the permission, hopefully, of the director of prisons. If he doesn't give me permission, then the California prisons are going to come down here and rent a space and fit it up with video cameras so that I can do live teachings to these inmates. So God is just moving amazingly in my life and moving in the direction towards ministry. And so, it's really just confirmation to me what you read today, because 4 or 5 of those verses pertain to what I was going to speak about. And I just want to touch on those verses one more time if I may. So we're going to go back real quick to...
Tony, can you share about your radio show too real quick?
Yes, absolutely. I have a Christian talk show on the radio. It's called Redemption. Myself and another pastor, Rick, from Calvary Chapel. And what we do is we pick a subject out of the Bible and we discuss it, and we talk about it over the air. And what's amazing is that that's how the warden from California heard us, was online. And so what they did was on Sundays they'll lock down those 2 prisons of Chino and Culprit, and they'll pipe our radio show into just tens of thousands of inmates. So we get prayer requests, we get calls all the time, we get requests online for certain types of music and stuff. And, it's amazing because most of the inmates there really don't have access to anything. I mean, a lot of these yards are locked down all the time. And so it's just amazing the way God has moved in that direction of taking that radio station and allowing us to intercede for them and to pray for them, to play music, and to share the Word of God with them. So it's just really awesome the way He's doing it. I want to read a couple of these verses that we went over. I'm going to read Psalm 34, starting in verse 11 through 16, I believe. It says, "Come, O children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is there who desires life and loves many days that he may see good?" This is the emphasis on important terms. "Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are towards the righteous, and his ears toward their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the memory of them from the earth." Ouch! What a harsh statement. To cut off the memory of those who do evil. That's hardcore. I mean, that's God just saying, look, I'm going to forget about you. You want nothing to do with you. You're done. That's rough. You know what I mean? And it's really disheartening to think about those who are lost and aren't going to partake in the glory of God. That bothers me. It really does. It bothers me a lot. So let me start by saying this. In 1973, there was a psychiatrist, and his name was Carl Miniman, and he wrote a book, and the book was called Whatever Became of Sin. I submit to you that nothing ever became of sin. It was us. It was us. It was our sinful nature. And so we spoke today for a few minutes, and what she was talking about was kind of confirmation to me, because I wanted to talk about sin, and then I wanted to talk about repentance and what repentance leads to. And so after he wrote this book, Whatever Became of Sin, and as I said, it wasn't sin, it was us. And so talking about sin, talking about sin for the Christian, between two Christians, we can do that. But try going to, say, a dinner party and bring up the subject of sin and see how fast the topic has changed. Nobody wants to discuss it. Why? Because it's in their hearts and it's in their minds. And it makes them look in that mirror where they go, oh, sin, ooh, that's me. And so it happens a lot. I've done that very thing to people, and they don't want to discuss it, right? But avoiding the subject doesn't change the issue. For the human race, sin is going to be sin. And so, if we think about it, you really can't deny there's a problem. You can't just say, oh, well, yeah, that's sin, and then just move on. It doesn't work that way for the Christian. In the Christian life, we have to admit that there's sin, we have to confront and face that sin, and then we have to turn it over to God and move on. Because you know why? There's always going to be another sin. There's always another sin in our path. And so we cannot dwell on the things that cause us to keep doing those old things. Because there's always going to be something new. Take what we got, give it to God, and move on. And here's the bottom line. If Satan keeps bringing up your past, it's because he's running out of material.
Yeah.
He's running out of material. There's nothing else for him to come up with. So it's very important to remember that. The details are always going to change. The faces, they come and go. But the story is always going to remain the same, right? Amen? There's something evil that lurks in the hearts of men. No one is immune. No one is exempt. And no one is truly immune from sin. You know what? I have to say, I'm watching a TV show the other day, a Christian show, church, and there's a baby crying in the background, and the minister actually had the audacity to say, can you take that child outside? Are you kidding me? That's awesome. That's a breath of life right there, man. The child is innocent, beautiful. Anyway, the world isn't a mess. The world is not the problem. Painful truth is, and if you think about this, we actually know that it's not really a problem. The world is a mess because why? We ourselves are a mess. The problem isn't outside that door for mankind. The problem is right here. The problem is right here. That's where our sin lies. That's what the issue is with every single person on the planet. One of the problems is it's common to blame sin. We can blame sin on our environment. We can blame sin on lack of education. We can blame sin on poverty. I don't have enough, so I got to go out and do this. Well, I didn't get a really good education, so I got to go out and do this. When that's just not true. Many people believe if we could just cure those three things, that the issue of sin would be gone. We're going to go ahead and feed the homeless. We're going to go ahead and give everybody education. We're going to do all these types of things. But guess what? We've spent billions and billions of dollars on these types of things, and it hasn't changed a thing. Sinful nature is always going to be sinful nature. You can take a bottle of poison and put an orange juice label on it, but it doesn't change the contents of the bottle.
We need to stop and pray for more.
Absolutely, amen. Absolutely. Father God, we just want to praise your holy name, Lord. We pray for Mark and the heart condition that he's having, Lord. Father, we just ask, Lord, that whatever that issue is, that you would bind it right now. That you would heal right now. That you would just take that issue and remove it from his body, Father God. That there would be a healing in the heart, Lord, that muscle right there would be completely healed, Father God. Lord, we trust and believe in your word. And it says in your word, Father God, that whatever we ask in the name of Jesus, you will do it. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask for healing right now for this individual, Father God. We ask, Lord, that you would place a medical person in his life, Lord, a physician, or whatever the case may be, Father God, and that you would guide the hand of that person to heal him, Father God, or just do it supernaturally, however you see fit, Father. But we just praise that name, the name of Jesus, Father God, and we ask this in your Son's holy and precious name. Amen.
And we speak life to you in the name of Jesus Christ. We declare and decree the life of Jesus, resurrection power, the life of Jesus. And your days are numbered here on earth, however long he says, and nothing else will rob you of that. In Jesus' name. Only the Lord orders your days. Because you are his son. So we rebuke the fear of death, and we rebuke the fear of not knowing when it's our time, in the name of Jesus Christ. And we declare the spirit of the true living life, living waters from the living life. In Jesus' name. This is God of that.
You know, I see the minister one time ask his congregation, how many people pull up in the parking lot and lock their cars? Everybody raised their hand. You know why? Because the human condition hasn't changed. The human condition has not changed at all. You know, we lock our homes, we lock our houses, we lock our jewelry up, we lock our cars, we lock our office doors, we put locks on everything because the human heart hasn't improved. The problem is sin, and it separates us from God. And Isaiah 59:2 says, your sin has made a separation between you and your God. In other words, our sin has put this wall up right there between us and God. Now, the wall can be torn down. See, it's really simple. Father, forgive me, I've sinned. It's that simple. One simple prayer. You know, we call sin by many other names. We can whitewash it, we can label it. The sin is still going to be sin. And as I said earlier, man, you can take a bottle of poison, put a orange juice label on it, but it doesn't change the contents of the bottle. Poison is still poison. Drink it and you'll die. And it's the same with sin. You don't want to die in your sin. So we take that label, that bottle of sin, and we put the name of Jesus on it. We don't have to worry about it. Sin is going to always be sin regardless of the label that we place on it. Amen? So, for the next few minutes, let's talk about sinful nature. So what exactly is sin, right? Several theologians have come up with many different ideas as to what sin is. I'm going to tell you what the Bible says. Sin is lawlessness. That means that sin is anything that ignores or violates the standards that God gave us in his written word. Anything that violates what God says we should do is lawlessness. God placed the Ten Commandments on us for a reason. Right? And so what do? We wind up breaking it at some point. A sin is called missing the mark. Sin causes us to aim our lives in the wrong direction. I'm guilty of that all the time. God, just like, look at Jonah. Jonah, I need you to go over there and I'm going this way. He missed the mark. He didn't do what God wanted him to do. Amen? Sin is transgression. That means it's going beyond the limits of what God said is good and proper. God said you can do this, and we go over here and do this. Or we might do this, but we had to. It's transgression. Sin is an iniquity. This is a strong word because it means deliberately choosing to do what God doesn't want us to do. It's deliberate disobedience to the Word of God. It's premeditated. It's deliberate. God wants me to do this, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. Just like Jonah. I'm not going to Tarsus. Why should I? Deliberate disobedience to the Word of God. Sin is a deviation from God's standards. This describes the crookedness of the soul that results in making bad choices. I know I should do this, but I think I'm going to try this instead. When God says do this, and we go over here and do this. That's deliberately breaking God's law. Sin clings to our inner ugliness. This involves our dreams, our thoughts, our actions, our speech. Things we think and say about other people, the things that the way we react towards conversations, the things that we watch on TV, the music that we listen to, the things that we say about people, the things that we think and feel about people in conversations. conversation or in our thoughts or in our hearts. I'm going to tell you, I don't like everybody. I don't love everybody. I'm the first to admit it. I'm a sinner saved by grace. It's just the way it is. But let's not forget, God sees everything. There's so much garbage that goes on beneath the surface. Things that we hide from others. Things that we hide from ourselves. Things that, I can do this and get away with it. I don't have to tell nobody about it. I'm in the room by myself. I can do whatever I want. Guess what, guys? As Christians, you're never alone. Amen. God sees everything. God knows everything. Hebrews 4:13 says, not a creature exists that is concealed from his sight, but all things are open and exposed. That's the word of God right there. So no matter what you're doing, God's going to see what you're doing. God knows you're going to do it before you do it. That's food for thought right there. So the Bible traces sin back to the Garden of Eden. You know the story. God said, don't. The serpent said, do, and Adam does. And that's it. Thank you, Adam. You know? So that's where theologians call that the fall of man, right? The bottom line is that Adam did what he did. Adam and Eve did what they did. Guess what, people? We're the ones that paid the price. Thank you very much. It's amazing. Before that moment, they were living an immortal life. And after that, a dead soul and a dying body. They died spiritually. There was a separation from God. He moved them out of the Garden of Eden. But not only that, they began to age. They began to age. And so they started to die. With one little action. One little action. Adam ate the fruit, fell from a state of innocence into a state of guilt. They fell from grace. Because think about this. Being in the presence of God every day. Being able to commune with God every day, to going from, Father, how you doing, to, hey, Adam, where are you? Jesus walking in the cool of the garden, going, Adam, where are you? He knew where they were. He wanted them to come out from hiding. Why were they hiding? Why was it they were hiding? Because of the sin that they committed, the deliberate disobedience to God. The question is, what does all this have to do with us? What does all this talk of sin have to do with us? In a weird way, in a weird, strange way, we're a party to it. We're part of that problem. Romans 5:12 says, sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin. And in this way, death came to all men. Why? Because all have sinned. All of us are guilty. The doctrine of original sin in the simplest form. When Adam sinned, we sinned. When Adam disobeyed, we disobeyed. When Adam fell, we fell. When Adam died, we died. Because we are the descendants of Adam, and we suffer for his actions. He committed the crime. We suffer the penalty. Guilty by association. That's what happens to us. The virus of sin entered the human race, and as a result, every baby that's born into this world was tainted, separated. It's a hard way to think about it, but it's very true. Every person is born with a tendency to do wrong. Two little kids running around the house. Who broke the lamp? That's the first thing they do, is point to each other. I didn't do it. These are great, you gotta love them. I read a story about a man who had a disease, and his three sons got the very same disease. It was hereditary. The man used to joke to his boys, I guess you didn't choose your parents very well, did you? The bottom line is that we don't choose our parents, either physically or spiritually. When we received our physical characteristics from our parents, right, either physical or spiritually, it wasn't by choice. Likewise, we inherited our sin nature from Adam. It wasn't by choice for us. But because he sinned, we get stuck with the consequences. Thank God they're good. Amen. You know, most people act as if God has this sin meter, right? That he registers good and evil with, right? They want to believe that the registration on the meter is really good or really bad. Most people believe there's somewhere in the middle. There is no middle ground. You're either a sinner or not, but guess what? We are. Paul talks about being the chief of sinners. That's what you got to meet. We're going to have that discussion with him someday. We're going to sit down and talk about it. I said, Paul, let's talk about this. And then we're going to compare stories. He's probably going to say, wow, Tony, you're right. You got me beat by a million miles. You know, we act as if, no, I'm not the worst. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. How about this one? I'm glad I'm not as bad as that guy over there. I did this, but I didn't do that. Right? The Bible's clear. We came into the world with the meter needle stuck on evil because of Adam and Eve. That's what happens. We came into this world with that needle stuck all the way over to evil because of the sin nature. Because we are the descendants, and we got stuck with it. This is our inheritance from Adam, and we're born living on the wild side. We sin because we do what comes natural. It's natural to us. It's easier for us to step out and sin than it was to come to God. And you know what's really hard? It's hard for a guy like myself, and I've done this, who walk away from God. The farther you go, the harder it is to come back. So I'm telling you right now, if you're ever considering walking away from the Lord, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's hard to come back. But you know what? He's standing there like this. God's standing there like this with his arms waiting for you to turn around and come home. The problem is, our sin nature tells us in our mind, trust me, let's stop giving Satan so much credit. He's not in your ear going, no, it's us going in our own ear. The devil doesn't have that kind of power. He's not omnipotent. He's not omnipresent like God. He's not everywhere all the time. Now, he's got his little minions that cause you to do things or escort you in that direction. But it's us. We have the ability to say no. 5 little words. Get you behind me, Satan.
Amen.
That's all it takes. The problem is we always forget that. We don't spit those words out enough. And apart from God's grace, that needle would stay stuck on you. By the grace of God, Jesus Christ, the blood that he shed on the cross, that needle is on this side. You know, we're not evil because of sin. We sin because we were evil. There's a big difference. This is our inheritance from Adam. We were born living on the wild side. Adam is the reason you were born with strike one on the record already. So you're probably sitting here going, wow, is there any good news? Does this guy have any good news for us? Yeah, I do. There is hope. The answer is yes. There's a tremendous amount of hope and joy for all of us, but before we get there, you need to make sure that you understand the depths of depravity that mankind has gone into. I want to make sure that you fully understand that. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line for us. Sin has affected every part of our being. It's affected our mind. It's affected our emotion. It's affected our will. It's affected our intellect. Right? It's affected our moral reasoning. It's affected our decision making. It's affected our speech. And last but not least, it's affected our deeds and our actions. No matter how righteous we may think we are, no matter how righteous we really, truly perceive other people to think that we are, we're not. We're not that righteous. No part of our lives is exempt from sin. Romans 13:10 says, no one is righteous, no, not one. When I was in prison ministry for a long time. And sometimes I would preach messages where the congregation would go, man, you are ugly. Why do you talk to us like that? Listen, if I take and I just preach that God is love and joy and kindness and peace, but I don't preach about the other half, then if I only take a half a truth and I pass it off as a whole truth, then I'm preaching a lie. I need to tell you the whole side of God, both good and wrath. You know, some of you think, some of you might think it's an overly harsh statement, but God's standard of judgment is totally different from ours. You know, He doesn't judge the way we do. A lot of us grade on the curve, right? You know, we look at someone and say, I'm not as bad as that guy over there. God doesn't judge that way. God's judgment is sinless perfection. It's perfect holiness. It's perfect love. It's perfect wisdom. It's perfect justice. And that's the standard by which God judges us. Everything in perfection. Anything less is sin. But the bottom line is, we don't really, when God looks down at the Christian now, you know what He sees? He sees Jesus Christ. He sees us covered in the blood of righteousness of Christ. He doesn't look and go, oh, there's Tony, he's a sinner. Listen, it's like standing in the courtroom of heaven for a judge sitting in the judgment seat, right? And over here you've got Satan, who's the district attorney, and you have the public defender, Jesus Christ, and you're sitting right next to him. And Satan goes, let me tell you what Tony's done. And he rolls out this big old scroll, and it goes on forever of all the sin that I've committed. And God goes, oh, wow, that's a lot. Well, you know what? I'm going to sentence you to it. And Jesus stands there and goes, no, this one is mine. God says, enter in, good faith and servant. But it's not by anything that I've done. It's not by anything that you have done. It's by the blood of Christ being shed on the cross for us. That's how that works. So we all descend from Adam. There's no room for pride and no feeling superior to others, right? And we all stand in exactly the same spot. We are created to know Him. We are created deeply, deeply fallen, yet gladly loved by God. What an amazing, amazing thing to know that no matter what you've done in your life, no matter what's going on, no matter what demons that you're battling with, they don't stand a chance against the living God. Listen, there isn't a demon that's ever created whose arms are long enough to box with the Lord. It's not going to happen.
Amen.
That battle right there was won at the cross. So whatever you're going through, whatever kind of sin you think you committed that doesn't make you worthy, guess what? You're not worthy. But Jesus Christ was worthy, and He made you worthy because of Him. So you don't have to worry about it. Let it go. That old statement, let go and let God, there is truth in that. There is truth in those words. Have you ever noticed how easy it is for us to confess our sins to others? Let's try this for example. Let me give you an example. One of the sins that the church commits is gossip. Here's how. Well, and I'm going to use you, Patty, as an example. I do this to her all the time when I minister. We need to pray for Patty. Instead of saying, okay, let's gather in prayer for Patty. Well, why do we need to pray for Patty? Oh, let me tell you what happens. Are you kidding me? That's gossip. That's a sin. We do it all the time. We need to stop doing that. Hey, let's pray for this guy because he needs prayer. Who cares why? Let's pray for him. That's the standard by which we should live. Here's another. You know, we drive down that road of hypocrisy all the time, man. Full speed, right? But it shows itself in subtle ways. Here's some examples. Oh, you lose your temper. With me, I have righteous anger. How about this one? You're a jerk. I'm just having a bad day. Right? You cuss and swear. I just let off some steam. You're pushy. I'm just intense. You're greedy. I'm just taking care of business. That's how we act. That's how we think sometimes. Yeah, we have 1,000 ways, maybe more, to excuse our own behavior, while at the same time criticizing others for doing the very same thing. It's no wonder Jesus said, let him who is without sin cast the first stone. Think about that. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. They should be throwing rocks at me. So no matter if you're an infant, or you're a man wrongly convicted, or anything in between, we all stand as sinners in the eyes of God. Now that we've established what sin is, and how it got this way, let's change direction and discuss Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace. What an awesome song. 2 years ago, I read a book by a writer named Philip Yancey. The name of the book was What's So Amazing About Grace. Now, this Philip Yancey is also one of the writers for the Little Discovery Series books. He's just an amazing writer, and he really knows the Word of God. He also is a writer for the Daily Bread little magazine. There are little books that come out. And he's a really interesting character. Philip Yancey comments that grace is the last great word, right? What he means by that is one of the words of the English language that actually still means what it really means. You know, the English language has been changed and bounced around so much that I'm surprised that we even speak English anymore. You know, grace teaches us that God does for the sinner what we could not do for ourselves. Grace is a gift that costs everything to the giver and nothing to the receiver. It is given to those who don't deserve it. It is given to those who barely recognize it, and hardly and rarely ever do they appreciate it. Think about that. God sent His only begotten Son to die for us on the cross. Grace incarnate. That is the true essence of grace right there. Several examples. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The thief on the cross. Today you will be with me in paradise. Amazing. Amazing. Let me ask you this. Is there any difference between Jeffrey Dahmer and Mother Teresa? Absolutely there is. Dahmer was a sadistic killer. Mother Teresa was God's instrument of mercy to His people. So suppose we took Jeffrey Dahmer and tossed him in this big, dark, deep pit, right? And we could all stand down and look down at Jeffrey Dahmer. See how far above him we are, right? That's all we see. Now consider what God sees from heaven. What happens to the distance between Dahmer and us? It disappears, right? Romans 3:22 says, there is no distinction. There is no distinction between people. God's not a respecter of persons. He doesn't care how good you are, how bad you are, what you've done, how much money you've got, how big a house you are, trophy husband, trophy wife. He doesn't care about any of that. What He cares about is the fact that we serve Him or we don't. That we worship Him or we don't. That we call upon His name or we don't. That's the distinction that God looks for. It's very, very important that we understand that. I don't care how good I have been, how good I want to be, how anything. God doesn't care about that. We're going to read that scripture in just a moment. Because we're all, family, we're all in the same boat. Compared to Jesus, we're all Jeffrey Dahmer. Think about that one. That's a rough way to think about it. A good man, let me ask you this. Talk about Jesus. If someone were to ask you who Jesus is, what would your answer be? What would some of you say? Some of you say he was a good man. Some say the Son of God. Some say a prophet, a rabbi, a teacher, a Messiah, a Savior, a wise man, King of kings, Lord of lords. What answer would you give? Some would give all of those answers. There are people in the world, both Christians and non-Christians alike, who are fully aware of those answers. Jesus even asked His disciples, who do people say that I am? Matthew 16, verses 13 through 16. And He gave 4 different answers. Even as Jesus walked this earth doing miracle after miracle upon miracle, people were still oblivious to who He was. He would bring Lazarus back from the dead. He would give sight to the blind. He would give hearing to the deaf. He would feed thousands and thousands and thousands of people with little baskets of food. The people still didn't have a clue. They still didn't understand who he was. He did everything short of saying, I'm God. And he even did that.